Yeah, and we live. Kojo.
Kojo.
Welcome, everybody. I am IFA Jemini.
And I am IFA.
And you are tuned in to the greatest podcast
on the planet.
Let's Talk IFA.
I said
why. We hope everybody is doing well. We got a special guest today, a cultural powerhouse here in this area and internationally, really. So without further ado, I want to introduce our brother Cojo B. Welcome to the podcast.
Greetings.
Wishing you good health, long life. We greet you and your family. We greet your ancestors. We greet your children. And we pray all good things for you, my brother.
Give thanks.
Yes. Yeah, it's good to have you on, my brother. Brother Kojo, can you just briefly tell the people a little bit about who you are and what you're doing currently?
Well, currently, most people in this community, in Charlotte community, know me as the director of Drums for Life, which is a program where we go around and teach drumming as a healing art, healing therapy. Mostly JEMBE orchestra with the JEMBE, the Doon Doons, Shaker Rays. And, my daughters, the group really consists of my family. Which my children. I have 11 children. Anyone that knows me knows that when I roll deep with my children.
That's that Ogun energy right there.
Yeah, so that's what most people in this community know me for. Like you said, I've made some moves from up north, up in the New York, Connecticut, New Jersey area, and internationally. And those who have known me for years know that there's a few more layers to my work and my mission.
Yeah.
But we can start there as the drummer.
What made you get into drumming?
Well,
how long have you been drumming?
My father and my aunt, which is my mother's sister, they were in a troupe together when I was young. And my father was not in the household with me. I was extremely close to my aunt. So she would bring me to the rehearsals. So that's one way I got to hang out with my father, at the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so I got a chance to be introduced to the kungas and the shikos and djembes. But I wasn't brought into it. I was more of a spectator. So I went to shows and went to rehearsals, and thankfully it was a part of my childhood. So drums wasn't foreign to me.
Right.
I knew it was a part of the family and part of what I did in the community. But I wasn't like immersed in it at that time. And at that time, I was young in Mount Vernon, New York, where I was from. So I was
shout out to Mount Vernon.
Very, very young. But professionally, I got into it once I went to college.
Okay.
All right, and then I dove all the way in.
What was that moment in college that how did that crossover happen?
I went to University of Nevada, Las Vegas, UNLV. When we was booming with the hoops.
Right.
My mother wanted to know where all those black folks come from. Why there's so many Africans in Las Vegas? We kept seeing these pamphlets, and then she said, "That's going to be one of your assignments when you get out there. Find out where they came from." And I took that charge very serious. So once I got out there and was, completing my degree, I wanted to see who's doing family day, who's doing the drumming, who's doing the dance out here. And it was no one.
Oh, wow.
So I sought out the community, the real community in Las Vegas, and it really shocked me. The conditions of what the West Side and North Side look like. Vegas was very interesting. It's a mix of LA with the gang, culture, and Louisiana and Mississippi. It's a mix of that energy.
Yeah.
And so, those of us that are pioneers and, we blazing trails, you're going to start something.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
There was nothing there that represented what I knew coming up, as far as the drumming and the dance and the poetry, like the way we do it, and family days in the park. Right. So we started it out there.
Sure.
And a sister, Abayomi Goodall, she came through, and she had already been coming through. She was a dancer with Calabash out of Brooklyn.
Is that Abayomi?
Abayomi, she was initiated.
That's my name.
All right.
That's my Yemonja name, Abayomi.
She was initiated.
Shout out to Abayomi.
Yes.
Abayomi over there.
That's right.
I say.
So we got together and said, hey, let's do this. She's my elder. And so she, put that djembe in my hands.
Okay.
All right. Although, like I told you, I was introduced to it young, but she actually put it in my hands and made it real for me.
Oh, sure.
And, that was the start of the journey in Las Vegas for me.
So you started it. Okay. With the training that you had from before when you were younger.
Well, that was the introduction and the awareness. But now I needed some training.
Right.
So from Vegas, the only way you could go is Cali, is LA.
Yeah.
So I was out to LA all the time, going out
Drumming,
to LA with the drum.
playing.
And I linked up with the drum maker out there.
Okay.
So that's how I came into it.
Yeah.
Dealing with drum makers.
see.
All right.
So you make djembe?
Yeah, we make djembes.
You make djembe? Oh, sure.
I don't do the woodwork.
Okay.
All right. As a drum maker, everyone has to do it at some point. So I've done it.
Of course.
Right.
But mine is I get the shells from whatever West African country, and then I do the rest. I do weld the rings. I put the skins on and the rope and what have you.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So that was my introduction, going out to Cali and getting with those drummers, particularly the drum maker.
And what year was this?
This is in 92.
1992.
Yeah, 93.
92. Okay, 92, 93.
Yeah, 92, 93. It's so funny because for us and our age, it really don't seem like, a long time.
I know.
But when you start talking to young people, they're like, oh, 90.
Wow.
I mean, we talking about 27. Where you at right now? You talking about 30 years ago, pretty much.
And for us,
it's like, damn, we remember 93, like,
Yeah.
Because that was my graduation year from high school.
All right.
So I remember, 93.
See
Class of 93.
I did 92.
Yeah.
92. 92. I graduated from the Royal Academy.
It seemed like yesterday, boy.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's that time, it flies. It really flies.
So let's go back. Let's journey all the way back.
All right, let's do it.
Mom and dad, where were you born? What was your childhood like, and all that kind of stuff?
So I was born actually in Yonkers, Cross County,
Yonkers, New York.
Yeah, New York.
Okay.
But I'm from Mount Vernon.
Gotcha.
Right, and my family's deep Mount Vernon from when it was called Eastchester.
Okay.
All right? Everyone was coming up from the South, from Virginia, North Carolina mostly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they had zoned that area as like, this residential area.
You can come up here and do
get
something,
you a house.
get away. Yeah.
Right.
You get a little plot, in the back. Everybody had gardens and chickens, and it was really like the South.
Wow.
But in the North.
In the North.
I didn't know that.
Wow, I didn't know that.
What?
Wow.
Because they was coming from the South, so of course
that's all they knew. That's all they knew.
Grapevines, pear trees,
whatever space
trees,
they had.
everywhere. Like you just walk in the blocks, and you could climb a tree for fruit. When I was young.
Wow.
Didn't know
This is
that.
at Mount Vernon.
This is Mount Vernon. All right.
Didn't know that.
You go through Mount Vernon today, you're not gonna believe. This part of the story.
Right.
All right.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. So I came up really up underneath my grandmother. My mother has been, my hero. All right. She's really. I watched her work really hard to make things work for us.
Yeah.
All right. But my grandmother was who I call Mom. All right.
Okay. I got you.
Yeah. And she basically, you know, when I looked around at all the men in my family, they all the men in my family were charismatic hustlers in the community. They were all street legends, you know, boys club legends. You know, everybody knew my family. And we were that house. Everybody came through because of the men in my family.
Okay, got you.
Visiting the prison was no thing. You know, it's just a regular part
that's
of
pretty
the
much
game.
that's
part of the game.
Going to see your uncle.
Regular part of the game. You know, but my grandmother seen something with me. And said, not this one.
You're not going that route.
That ain't happening. You know, I had curfews and I'm the oldest grandchild. How I got a curfew? You know, and the one thing she really impressed upon me was that be careful of the people who you call friends. And the people that are around you.
I say.
And if there was one thing that I remember, you know, from her Jules, and her name was Jewel. Was be careful of those who you keep around you and who you find yourself around.
That's great advice because we all know, you know, now that's
easy.
It's very important.
And it's today's a different breed.
It can cost you your life.
That's right.
You know, it's serious. It's that serious.
These young guys out here, it's different.
So
different mentality.
So you were born. You grew up in born in Yonkers. Grew up in Mount Vernon. So that's all the way through high school.
Well, Mount Vernon was. I left for Mount Vernon when I was about 7. And my mother decided we're going to Connecticut.
Okay.
She going, you know, work on her career in Connecticut.
So that was the reason for the move, the career, trying to...
Definitely. We're going to do something different. And it was just she and I.
Okay.
And, Connecticut, you know.
What part?
We went initially to Danbury, which was on the west side, which was only about 45 minutes from Mount Vernon.
From Mount Vernon,
But the culture was like light years away.
Really?
The racism at that time was unbelievable. You know, and I was a latchkey child from young. So my mother had to trust all of the training she put me through up to that point. Because she had to work. So when I got off the bus, you go home, cook yourself up a little something, and then walk here to the college where she was working to come and hang out with me until it's time for me to come home.
Got you.
You know, and you know, we've experienced, you know, telephone pole through her windshield and nigga die, you know, on the car. Not once, but twice. After she get it fixed, they did it again.
Wow.
And we still here?
Wrong neighborhood.
You know, when we going back to Mount Vernon? We still here?
We subjecting ourselves to this? In your mind, in our mind, we'd be like, this ain't worth it. Whatever we here for, this ain't it. It's just me and you. I'm gonna have to kill somebody out here.
What?
Wow. We just moved deeper and deeper into Connecticut. You know, thankfully she was doing well in her career. And we just moved deeper and deeper into Connecticut.
So it got better as y'all moved deeper in there?
Deeper means deeper racism. Right?
The opposite.
Deeper. Because Danbury, from where we moved to, was the most diverse area out of all the places. So if it was going to be all right, it should have been in Danbury.
But it was not all right in another way.
You heard the welcome, right? Welcome to Connecticut. It's the other way around.
That's crazy.
Right. So my childhood, you know, I graduated from a school in New Milford, Connecticut, where I was the only black male in my class.
Shit.
And I'm not bragging about that. That's not a brag. That was one of the most uncomfortable situations. Coming from Mount Vernon, New York, to being the only
I'd have been like, I don't know,
black
Mom.
man.
I don't know if I can do this.
All right, graduate.
Wait a minute, this is your dream. I got to go back to Mount Vernon.
And I already know my people. You know, I know Stevie Wonder, and Muhammad Ali. You know what I mean?
And
I know Malcolm X.
Here?
I'm here.
Whoa.
So the best thing on that is that, those type of markets athletically, those of us that are athletes, we shine.
Right.
So I got full ride, scholarship coming out of that situation.
Okay.
Basketball
UNLV.
and track. Actually, I went to Black College, UMES in Maryland first.
Okay.
And that afforded me the first year of, all right, I got this on me. That situation wasn't working there. I said, let me get on out to UNLV. It's the baddest basketball program happening. If I'm gonna do this, let me go on out to UNLV. Where they doing it. So I got to play with Larry Johnson and Stacey Augman and Anthony, Greg Anthony and Anderson Hunt. That was the squad. But let me tell you, I tell young people all the time that when you really think you love something, get around people that really love it. And that's when
a jewel right there, y'all. Say that again for us, brother. Repeat that one more time for us, please.
When you think you love something, get around some people that really love it. I was playing ball on a regular with them, and one day I woke up and was like, I don't love this. These brothers.
Hey, they help you. They sped up your understanding and your evolution. They sped it up
for sure
because they showed you in a shorter amount of time. Like this, what it's like to really love this.
Thank you.
Like this is your life,
and they all went pro.
This is all we do.
All went pro.
They all went pro.
You was like, I don't have that level of passion. And
I don't love it like that.
Yeah.
Nah, because you're calling me 10, 11 at night.
Yeah.
Going
to ball.
Didn't we already play earlier?
They going again.
For 4 hours?
They going again.
Yeah, I gotta work, man. I don't have no basketball scholarship. I gotta work and try to bust these books.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, that's real. So you figured that out.
Yeah, man.
In college.
Yeah. So I said, I'm a business person. I've always had the entrepreneur business thing on me. And what I decided, I don't know if y'all knew the legend Groovy Lou. He's a fashion icon. He was the, Bad Boys original stylist. So when all the artists,
it sounded a little familiar to me, but
everyone who was during that time was getting styled by Groovy Lou. All right.
Okay.
So that's my cousin. His grandmother and my grandmother's sisters.
Got you.
Okay. All right. At that time, I looked at his career and where he was moving. And I looked at mine. I could have continued in the restaurant industry. My degree was hotel restaurant management.
Oh, okay.
And a minor in business management. So I was offered a corporate position with the corporation I was working with while I was there. But also, I was getting into that drumming and representing the culture. And I looked at my cuz and saw where he was going with the music industry. And he was catapulted into fame and, being in that lifestyle. And I'm saying, what if I really just went with the cultural and spiritual path? But I take my business with me and learn how to do this and make a living from it.
And that's one of the reasons why we had this podcast right there. Because that's what you got to do. You can't go to IFA.
That's very key.
You can't go to IFA and ask for things and you don't have no plan. You don't have no business plan. You don't have no plan. You just going to ask for wealth and prosperity. Like
and you're not
these things are going, just fall out of the sky. Some people had taken that Christian mindset into this, and they feel like once they get initiated or they get this Orisha or that Orisha,
they're gonna get everything that they imagine. Without work.
Yeah, it's not that type of magic. It's different.
Yeah. I remember I was in the restaurant one night and I am counting out the money, and it was time to do inventory, and I was doing it so well that I could do it really with my eyes closed. But I lost time. Something happened. I remember looking over at the cooks, and they were dealing with, the vats and stuff. And I lost time. Safe open, everything. I can't even tell you how long I was out.
Yeah.
But I was doing whatever I was doing.
Yeah.
Right.
But I lost some time. And I realized this is dangerous.
Yeah.
Something's going on with me.
Yeah.
There's a transition happening.
Figure it out. Yeah.
I got to figure it out.
Yeah.
Let me shut it down. I told them, listen, leave of absence for a little while. I shut down for about a week, and I went on a fast. I had my family came in from back east who was staying with me, trying to get a new start for them. So I, here's my car, here's the house. You're good. He'll drop a few dollars on the table. You're good. All right, because I'm checking out for a week. All right. My aunt worked at the library at the time. I said, I want Gordon Parks, everything. Let me get my music. I had Stevie Wonder's Vision on repeat over and over again.
Yeah.
I had my little lights and my books set up, closed the door, just dealing with some water in the restroom.
And this is where were you?
This is in Vegas.
In Vegas, okay.
Yeah. Wow.
Did you go
This is
somewhere
1993 in Vegas.
isolate yourself? Like
I was in the house, just
you was
in my
the
room.
house. Just,
So what did your
You
family
checked
think
out.
about that?
They were used to me taking little breaks and, doing fasting. And I was, already a vegetarian by that time.
Right,
So they just seen it as, all right, he going through his granola and, incense and oils and berries.
Right. Yeah, we just need to give him a little bit of time. He'll be all right.
let me tell you. I'm sitting one time, no bed, everything was on the floor, and I'm sitting on the floor. I'm looking at my books, and I read this book, a couple of times. I like this one book,
Okay.
and the book, the letters changed,
Oh, shoot.
and the letters was saying a OYA, and I was like,
Don't do that.
Oh, yeah.
man. Listen, bro.
I said,
Listen,
he
bro.
came in
I
here
got
with
the same
vision.
I'm going to let you finish.
I kept looking, and at this time, I only
deep,
That's
man.
crazy.
That's
I
deep.
only had
Now, I've never heard this story.
That's deep.
I only had book knowledge on Arisha, and, and then some family, just being around,
Right.
family.
You heard a little here and there, but
no
you
no
weren't
type of
familiar with Oya or any Orisha.
at all,
That's interesting.
at all.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
That transformation.
Transformation.
I went to the library and said, "Let me look up this word because it's got to be significant."
Right. Right.
I kept going up to the book. When I got real close to the book, it changed back to what it was, which was one.
Right.
The book was called One. But every time I sit back, it was like
It would change. The letters would transfigure.
kept changing. All right. So I went to look it up, and one of my brothers, who was a poet out there, his name was Kimia. He had just returned from Nigeria being initiated.
Oh, shoot.
Just returned. Like I hadn't even seen him yet. So he rolled up in the library, and I was like, "Oh, my bro, Kimia."
Now, what's the chance of that being a coincidence?
And I told you I locked down.
Right.
I wasn't even going
So
anywhere.
I'm listening. I'm sorry. I'm listening.
So I said, Kimia, oh man, I want to hear all about the initiation.
Yeah.
But I'm dealing with something right now. And I know I don't
Only
need
you
to
can
be
help.
rude or,
Right.
I need you to break this down for me.
Yeah.
OYA.
Yeah.
He's like, oh yeah. Change, transformation, giving me the basics. And I said, oh, all right. I'm on the right path.
Yeah.
I'm on the right, because all my writings had breeze and wind. If you look at all my writings
all
during
your
that time,
writings, like what-
all my writings I was writing during that time.
Yeah.
Everything had breeze, especially the breeze.
So what would you write? What was you writing? Memoirs
Everything
or
that
poems,
came
or
through.
You was journaling.
I was journaling.
Okay.
But it was mostly, it was coming through as poetry.
And Lord,
Okay,
was coming through as you was talking about breeze a lot and wind.
All the way. If you look at all of the writings of that time period, there was breeze and wind and what have you. I came out of that week and a vision was shown to me of this. It was like this, it looked like a castle. It was a white castle, and it was hovering over the ground. and there were these divine warriors around it, all right? And it was by the ocean, and it was red rocks around. Now, out there in Vegas, they have a place called the Valley of Fire. It was my quiet place. And I mean, when you say quiet, I mean, you hear the bugs' wings out there. It's that quiet. So I've been taking people there for years. So in my vision, I'm just thinking of some of my, experiences coming into this manifestation, right? So I looked at that and said, all right, I like that. And I left it alone because I didn't really, it wasn't for right then. I knew it wasn't because it didn't really make sense to what I was.
Let me give it some time.
Let me give it time.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to figure out where I'm going next.
Right.
So that didn't really.
They guiding you, so you like, all right, I'm gonna just be patient.
Let me ride. Let me tuck that away. I came out of that corporation offered me position. I told them, I'm gonna decline, and I'm going to go ahead and do this thing with the drums, and spiritual work. I had already started doing some spiritual life coaching with people, and so that's when I dove into the drum, the djembe. All right, and that was 93.
That was 93.
You do the math.
Yeah.
I mean, once I jumped in, I never turned back.
Bro, let me tell you my story on how I got into the culture. I had met Babalosha Efundeji Ibarato. He was a priest. He was the Yoruba, ancestor, the African guy. And I'm from Norfolk, Virginia. So he was the guy in Norfolk. We had in Norfolk, if anybody's familiar, we had 35th Street back then in Park Place. You had Brother George's bookstore. You had, Nation of Islam there. You had another mosque. You had the, Noble Drew Ali, and the Moore Science Temple out there. You had it was a whole, that 2-3 block radius. It was like the conscious area. So I had met Baba, but I didn't know much about their research, just little stuff in passing and stuff I had read out of books before. And I would just be driving and like a Toyota, but all the letters would fall off except the O, the Y, and the A. I'm seeing OYA for 2 weeks straight to the point where it kept happening so much. I was like, all right, it's got to be something to this. So during that time, this was 2000, probably 2001, 2002, 2002, yeah. And so I was able to, Google it or whatever, and I'm reading and I start seeing about the Orisha, and I knew that was it, what was coming to me. So that's my story of how it happened with me. I would just see the letters, random cars, license plate, wherever. I saw it so many times. I said it made me check it.
Yeah. It was crystal clear.
Yeah, that's deep.
Yeah.
That's how it was for me.
Wow.
That was all that brought me into the culture. So
I mean, I tell people all the time, some things I can't really explain to you. I just know it works. And it is. It is what it is. It works.
You have to have the experience.
That's it.
Because you can explain your experience, but it may or may not resonate with people because we all got our own.
Yeah, that's your experience.
That's your experience. I can just give you an example.
Way. But it's interesting that both of y'all came in seeing the same.
Just saying that it's just slightly different, but I was seeing the letters, and you were with the Oya. What would you said you
the book
letters
changed.
Yeah, the letters changed.
Yeah.
So really the same thing.
It is. It really is.
You know what I mean? Because it just they didn't change in front of me, but they was already like that.
Yeah.
Same difference.
Yeah.
But that's all y'all.
So
Y'all does that.
Yeah.
When you making that transition, she's showing you. And those, if you don't, you got to recognize the sign. Because some people could have freaked out and said, I just seen words, I'm going to check in.
Or some people, it'll go over their head and they won't notice it at all.
But if you're spiritual and you naturally connected, you're going to say, let me go and research that.
Yeah.
Because something ain't, it's got to be something.
And I've always, it's got to be something.
So, but you got to have that. Everybody,
you got to have that ori.
Yeah,
I was already spiritual. I just wasn't into IFA yet.
Right.
Like I had been, because I've been truth seeking and searching since like 17, 18. It was a group of us, like Norfolk and Newport News. Anybody from VA know this. Those were the hot spots for the culture, for knowledge, for the books, for the lectures, for the VCR tapes that we used to buy. And, you know, then the DVDs came later, or the CDs, if you just, you know, that was cheaper, or the cassette tapes. You know, we had to buy all that stuff then. All this stuff is on YouTube now. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, that's deep. So so the drumming. So take us a little bit through that journey. You started that journey, you took it serious, you brought your business and you know, sense into the drumming. So let's go through that journey a little bit, you know.
Yeah, so in Vegas, I learned that, you know, I can make a living from it, and that I didn't have to, you know, rely on the corporate structure to do this. I had already been doing entrepreneur ventures. I was doing music, underground parties, introducing the community to reggae and dancehall. Some conscious rap.
Yeah.
You know, I was renting out these buildings that, you know, y'all know, underground.
Yeah.
But because, you know, my what I was gifted with, it was relationships. You know, relationship building came very easy for me.
Yeah.
So I had the police patrolling my parking lot.
Yeah.
You know, I had opposing gang members there. You know, just people who really would not normally
hang around each other
with. It was working.
It was working.
It was working. You know.
Yeah, sure.
And again, you know, to you all's point, when your focus is on the righteousness and the spirituality, then really things come together.
Sure.
And
that's deep.
You know, my intention was to bring the community the energy that I grew up on, which was really about family.
Right.
You know.
Right. Family, community.
Family, community, culture. All these beautiful parks that are out here. How come we don't utilize these parks? Why are we not out here? So all of a sudden, I'm bringing people to parks where they was never. We don't go to that side of town.
Yeah.
You come on over here.
Yeah, it's a different type of time we on over here.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So, you know, like I said, I was running out to Cali, to Crenshaw. That was my area. And was just being introduced to all the elders who were, you know, holding it down out there. A lot of them were from East Coast.
Right.
Okay.
But there was plenty that was from Cali.
Okay.
And they were, you know, embraced me.
Yeah.
I'm rolling in there. I had a friend, Indonesian friend, who had he started school, parents had money, and he wanted to upgrade Mercedes. He had a gold kitted up BMW.
Okay.
So he was like, I just need a little down payment for my Mercedes. So here, Kojo, you know, you take this, give me a little down.
Yeah.
So, you know, I had no dough, take care of no BMW, but it was given to me. You know,
right.
You know,
I try to. We might can figure that out. Yeah.
That's a blessing. Yeah, I can handle it.
Yeah.
So the elders are like, yo, you rolling up in Crenshaw in this kitted up BMW. What's the matter with you, man? I said, what? This is my ride. Like, you got out-of-state plates and
looking like food. You looking like a plate of soul food right now.
My man was like on his bike riding with me until I got out of the hood. Every time I went to visit him, he's like, man, now you got me on this bike. You know, I got to
ride make sure you get out of here alive.
But again, you know,
oh man, that's crazy.
Later on, all of that energy, I think about, you know, where I was led and how I was protected during some of these times.
During the times, yeah.
And really, you know, when you do your soul searching of who you are, right? There's some things that I didn't put down. You know, my mom taught me how to take the train when I was young. Don't talk to nobody.
Right.
Just take the train. And my aunt on the other end, she said, how was it when you got off? She said, he talking to this dude coming off and they...
You breaking all the rules, but it's working for you though.
Yeah.
You know, so later on, when I thought about that, you know, with how I rolled into Crenshaw, when I traveled back east and said I'm done with the West Coast.
What year was that?
This is 95.
Okay.
Packed up everything and drove cross country, and got me a van eventually, a minivan, and packed it with drums. You know, went down. This is when Harlem still had all the vendors.
Was it
on
the MPV?
They had
Did you have the MPV?
I had the caravan.
Okay, the caravan.
I had the caravan.
Okay.
All right. And I was just rolling it up into the projects in Connecticut, in New York, and it wasn't Jersey yet. And it was me. And I'm rolling out there with my drum because I know they're gonna come.
They gonna come. Yeah.
All right. The little ones come out first.
Okay.
And you know,
that's how
you
I
want
go.
to play. You want to tap a little.
Yeah.
Start tapping. And you know, I see the young warriors out there.
Yeah.
They checking it out.
Yeah.
And then the mamas and the elders, they start to come over.
Yeah.
And they, you know, you got my babies over here.
What the drum do.
What's going on?
What's happening?
The drums do.
Yeah, I'm just doing a little drumming.
Yeah.
I'm really waiting for the warriors to come because those are the ones.
Right.
They gonna put their hands on it.
Yeah, I want the warriors to come over because then they're going to be security.
They make everything
Make sure
all right.
they're gonna make everything all right.
Yeah.
So those are the ones I'm saying, listen, my man, can you go in the back of the van and bring a few drums for the little shorties?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And this is the trust issue.
Right.
I like that.
Right. That's
Because
how
they
you do
go
it.
onto my ride.
Now that you can get, they go right.
And it's open.
And I'm out here with all y'all and all the
It's
kids
just
and
me.
everything.
Kids,
Yeah,
Just me.
just
I
you.
wasn't bringing my children out at that time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's just me.
Right.
So they bring the drums. I never had an issue with that. They bringing the drums out.
You gonna have one.
That's what I'm saying.
You ain't gonna have one. When you deal with the culture and you minding your business and you got good intention, you're not out there on nothing, left, you good. Ain't not gonna happen.
Yeah.
And then it's the music, the drum itself. I mean,
The drum itself and the spirit and the energy you coming with.
If it's our people,
Yeah.
old or young,
Yeah.
when they see that drum, I don't care if they're a criminal or
Yeah.
a thief, when they see that drum, it's something about, it's going to stop them and they're going to be intrigued.
They coming, like you said, they coming, especially
they're
the kids.
intrigued.
Yeah.
It's that drum. That's the African, that's
it.
the connection with
That's
the
it.
African spirit to the
It's
drum.
the spirit.
Whether you know
Even
it or not.
whether you know it or not,
Whether
it's
you
right
know
it
there.
or not.
It activates.
It
Once you see
activates.
it and you hear it, it activates. That's why we have to get back into more drumming.
Come on.
For these young
If y'all
people
listening,
now.
Come on.
listen,
Got
wherever you live at, you're witnessing the power of putting your children in, African centered activities, drumming, dancing, African music, whatever it is,
That's right.
It balances us out.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And that situation there, with me, with my energy, that was totally against what my mom would have had me doing.
Yeah.
All right. That
Yeah.
obviously, the divine had something else in store for me.
Yeah.
And after the Young Warriors just showed that, all right, you got our stamp.
Yeah.
I want
Yeah,
to
you
find
good.
out who is the resident president out here.
Right.
All right.
Right.
That's the business side.
That's the
Who's the resident president now? Because I know that's the real
That's the real, right.
OG.
Right.
And usually they right there. They just didn't make themselves known.
Yeah, they didn't make no
They
announcements.
checking you out.
They out there, yeah.
Like, what's going on?
Everybody reading you.
What's
Yeah,
he bringing to
reading.
the community?
Yeah, they reading.
They reading.
The whole community, from the kids to the elders and
They
everybody in
reading
between.
that's right.
What is he
All right.
bringing? What is he bringing in this
Because
community?
we so used to people coming trying to hustle us or be slick, and
Right.
and you know what I'm
Be
saying.
in and
So
out.
it's like,
in
Come
and
on.
out. Yeah.
Come on. So, once that person revealed themselves, then the talk started. I said, listen, how you think the response was to this? Like, they love this. I see that. You do this? I said, we could do this every week. We could do it twice a week. At that time, HUD had so much money. Now, it is right before Bush got in.
Okay.
Young Bush.
Yeah.
All right. they had so much money in HUD. So Housing Authority, people wasn't up on this.
Okay.
Housing Authority was giving out blank checks for programs and stuff. This is even before weed and seed.
Boy, I never knew that. HUD.
There was no...
I never knew that.
There was no drummers, dancers doing this unless they were from those projects. The ones who were from the projects, they would come in and do a little something if they was involved with a dance and drum.
Okay.
Right.
All right?
Okay.
But no one was coming in doing what I was doing
outside of that, if they weren't from that hood.
No.
Right.
No.
Right.
All right? So I went in there, and I mean, I was at every projects in Danbury, Norwalk, Stanford, went up to Bridgeport. Then I rolled down to Westchester. Rolled down to Westchester, New York, back where I was originally from.
Okay.
Eventually ended up down in Jersey and Newark and Brick City. And, you know, nobody was doing it. There were drummers all over the place.
Right.
But they weren't doing this.
Right.
They wasn't tapping into the HUD money.
Let me tell you, that they were like, what else do you need? Because I had these children on stage performing. I mean, y'all know how projects are in the community. This project and this project, they do not mess with each other.
Right.
Yeah.
But we was rehearsing to get ready for a big show that we got over there. So let's do this.
Yeah, we coming over here with a whole different energy. That's really the only thing that can penetrate that, you know what I'm saying, that what was going on right there, the politics of that area, you know what I'm saying, from a social standpoint, that's the only thing that could penetrate that.
Yeah.
If you think about it, right? We don't mess with y'all we fighting and whatever, killing each other, whatever. That's the only thing, the spiritual, the African traditional, that's the only thing that had the power to
bring them
bridge
together.
that gap.
Yeah.
So it starts with that drum.
Come on.
It's simple.
Yeah.
It's very simple.
Yeah, it's a unifying tool.
It's a unifying tool.
It's about togetherness and harmony.
Yeah, something in it with the drum activates that African spirit.
Yeah.
And then we begin to commune naturally. Just start to commune together.
And you know, something to what you were saying earlier, I know as an outsider to this, right? I'm here. This guy just came up here with these drums.
Right.
He's playing these drums. I know what I just felt inside.
Right.
I may not express it and show it. I don't want nobody to see it. Right?
Right.
But now you telling me you gonna bring me on the inside to do that to other people, to make somebody else feel like that? Wow, I'm in.
Okay.
People gonna be clapping?
Yeah.
I've only said
People gonna be clapping like
you know, people are gonna look at me like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's a different thing. Like athletes and entertainers, we're used to people. Ever since I was little as an athlete, I'm used to people yelling my name and clapping for me.
Right.
Cheering.
Not everybody has had that experience in their childhood.
Not at all.
So now, when you come to a program like, and then I become an entertainer. So it starts again. I'm on stage.
You're on stage.
All right, a newspaper, photo. All right. So now I have an opportunity to say, hey, let me bring this to a community where maybe you really never had that opportunity to have people clapping and feeling a certain way, which translates to you on stage,
confidence and the self-love and the energy of it all.
Pride,
you know, the happiness, the pride, the mama, everybody happy. You know,
everybody coming to see you. They coming to see me. It's not a school play.
Right.
It is African dance and drum and production.
Yeah.
All right.
That's how I grew up. We grew up. We stayed on the road. And Oyotunji, when I was growing up, we stayed on the road drumming, dancing, doing like in our earlier days growing up. And it's just something about that feeling of being on that stage and seeing the people react to the energy that you putting out is like, and you showing them culture as you're doing it. So they leaving away happy and high spirited, but they learn something as well.
Come on,
you know.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's
So HUD money. So how? I'm still stuck on the HUD money. You think of HUD and you think about housing and all that type of stuff. So what was the connection between the HUD and the drumming?
Well, only really about funding. Because, you know, early on when I first, you know, we go back to the degree, I hung out at the SBA office on the campus. That was the key. Other people was hanging out.
If you go to college or if you interested in business or you got a small business and you trying to feel like you're trying to grow it or do whatever, get familiar with your local SBA office.
Come on,
Small
now.
Business Administration. I guarantee you they got somebody black in there that is willing to help you. That's been my experience in, you know, VA here in North Carolina. So yeah, so go ahead, please continue, brother.
Right.
Yes.
And to add to that, free resources.
Free 99. Wow. That's the price we need.
Because you're doing something productive.
Yeah.
Come on.
Wow.
Yeah.
And nobody knew about this. You're the only one that knew.
Let me tell you, when I was in Vegas and I was hanging out SBA, they would open up the accounting books of all these businesses. I'm like, wow, I get an insight on all these businesses, you know? And then one of my partners out there at the time, he said, I'm gonna open up my business, man. And I'm, you know, he heard terminology from people. I'm gonna open up my business and I'm gonna get the government to pay for it. I was like, how you getting the government to pay for it, man? Stop all that, man. He said, nah, I'm gonna write these grants, man. You get grants. And then I was like, let me go on. Let me hit my SBA peeps and see if there's something to this grants thing. And I started writing grants, and I got a tour of the library district out there in Vegas. That was the first grant I wrote, and that turned me out. You know,
Peep's a grant junkie.
I'm getting this money.
People got them vices.
It's reparations right here. Y'all
What? I'm gonna use this to my advantage.
They just disguised it and called it grants. That's
What?
reparations.
Yeah.
That was a wrap. I came back. I was looking for all angles to work it. When I went to the housing authority, they told me about that HUD money. I said, how we tap into that? They said, oh, you work with some disadvantaged, needy children.
Oh, yeah.
So you want me to work with me?
Yeah.
You want me to go back and work with my people?
Is that it?
That's what I gotta do?
What else? Y'all making it too easy.
Wow.
Right? Blank checks at that time.
Wow.
You know, at that time, I think I was charging maybe $350 per class, and I was doing two a day. Like I'm at this projects in Norwalk. And got to run across. Like I'm doing this from 3 to 4:30. Got to run over here, get here by 5 to do the 5 to the 6:30 on the other side. That was Mondays.
Wow.
Tuesdays I'm in Stanford. Yeah. You know, I'm at the Yearwood Center and I'm running over here to all week.
And HUD is paying you.
They're paying
to go.
It was a grant.
And play drums and work with these kids at these schools. So you got to set how much you charge for each class.
Exactly.
For an hour and a half.
Exactly.
Wow.
I'm teaching them how to string up drums. So when they finish, they got their own drum. All right. I eventually pulled in recording engineers, and I hooked up a program in the prison and said, hey.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that. Yeah.
That started in Connecticut.
Okay.
I looked up one day and saw this RFP, you know, where they solicit for proposals for funding for programs. And I looked up one and said, let me see what's going on out here. And I saw one for one of the prisons. And let me tell you, this write-up was my program.
That was your program. That was you.
It had the engineer for the recording. It had the drum making. It had the drum and dance training. And it had life skills. It was my program.
That was you.
And you know what? I ain't get mad because I'm saying this. I got it from others, and I got it from the divine. So I'm thankful.
It's not mine.
It's not mine.
But it's not mine.
It's not mine. You know,
you're just passing it on, really.
But you know, I looked at it and said, "All right, here's another mark." You know, I left with another footprint. You know what I'm saying? And so I brought that down here, you know, and started that at the largest juvenile prison here in Concord. The exact program. Still doing it to this day. That's why, you know, I was telling you.
We talked last week.
They make drums. They learn the rhythms. And I bring the recording engineer in. And they record. And then now, you know, back in the day, I made a CD for them. You know, now I'm emailing the MP3, the recorder, you know, the file to them. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. So now they got a song of them
They
playing.
get the Ready to Fight. They get the drum on top. Because from their performance. All right. And most of the sessions is life skills. Rites of passage type of,
along with the drumming,
with the drumming and the drum making. It's most of the sessions, and those who identify in Mecklenburg County or somewhere nearby, I do one-on-ones with them through the week because of the relationships that we've established. The therapists, social workers, they can't get to them like that.
They can't get to them like that.
So with me, you know, that one-on-one, it's priceless for both sides. You know, I'm not gonna sit here and boast
it ain't
that
all of them.
I'm a savior for people. It helps me to stay on point in life. To get with these young warriors. And remind them that who you are.
You know? It awakens their consciousness. You know?
Yes.
That drum is powerful. I grew, like I said, I grew up drumming. I already know what the drum is capable of doing. And a lot of these young kids today, the way they are moving, the way the mentality is that we see, the drum can change their life or even change their path. Even if they don't take drumming up as a career and they take a career in something, but as long as they still drumming, that drumming keeps them focused and is a tool for healing.
Oh yeah. One of those facilities in Connecticut, a juvenile facility I went to. I go in and the organizer said, "Oh, I know, I can't remember his name right now, but I know he's gonna love you when you come in here. He's into the culture and he loves music and all." And when I get in, he was one of the elder drummers in Bridgeport. It was his son. So like you, he grew up in it. And when he seen me, he was like, "Oh, Papa Kojo." I didn't really know him. You know, a lot of people knew me from moving around. But he was like, "Yo, I'm so glad you're here." What? He was getting off on that jump, and the people around was
somebody
like,
I can relate to.
They looking at him like, "Yo, you do this?" He's like, "Y'all don't know."
Y'all don't know.
Papa Kojo brought these drums
somebody.
in. You know, that right there. That's everything.
Man, that's everything.
You know what I mean? That's it. Just linking up with him inside.
That
was it.
I could go home. I'm good. You know.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was, you know, and while I was in Connecticut, I wrote a grant and sent myself and my queen to Ghana.
Sure.
All right.
See.
The year after we got married, we went to Ghana. When I went there, I have family from Mount Vernon that had already repatriated. It's about 3 years. And, you know, we can talk about that, but it was 3 years they had been there. So I had some place to land.
Sure.
And they were still establishing themselves. But they was in Elmina by the water, in between the two popular slave castle dungeons, Cape Coast Castle and Elmina Castle. And they put themselves there intentionally to be the caregivers of those castles.
Right? Wow.
Yeah.
They found out that they were trying to clean up the castles, Shell and Minister of Tourism and other corporations. So the woman over there in Ghana called the family and said, "You need to get over here. They trying to cover over y'all's place."
Right.
So my uncle and my godmother went over there and they did a fast down in the male dungeons. And they stopped the work. And so from that point, they said, we need to establish ourselves right in between these two castles. One is the oldest in Elmina, and Cape Coast was, notorious and most popular. So when I went, that's who I was hanging out with, and I got to hang with them. They was right on the water, all right? Waves crashing on the rocks, and I mean, wow, I could do this over here, right? So I said, the only thing is, I need a beach. I like to get in the water, do something. So I got with some of the peeps, told you the relationship building. I said, you know what? The way I'm going to enter into Ghana, I'm going to bring a drum shell, and that's it. But I'm going to come back with a full drum. I have to find all the elements over there. I got to get the rings. I got to get the rope. I got to get the skin. I got to put it together over there. Right. So that way I knew I'd be walking the land. All right?
Right.
So as I'm doing this, I'm moving throughout the different villages, checking out the land where there was beach. And I saw this place. And this place was gorgeous. I mean, biblical, like the biblical that we thought when we was learning about, the Eden, Garden of Eden, and heaven. On earth. All right?
I said, finally.
You know what I'm saying?
Say you done found
reach heaven.
In Ghana.
Is this what heaven is?
You got your heaven on earth.
I'm here. All right? I looked up at that place, said, this is the spot.
This is it.
And my people from New York said, nah, man, we all tried to get land there. They got problems there. You ain't going to get it. And you know it's the wrong thing to say something like me.
Something like that to you.
Come on. All right? We got land there.
I said.
And probably about 8 years it took me to put the funds together to build the first guest house up on there. The first one called the Chalet.
What year was that you officially got the land?
I got the land in 1997. The first time I went, I bought land.
Okay.
First time you went.
All right.
First time
I went, I bought land.
So let me ask you this. Did you know that you had somebody to tell you about the due diligence and all that stuff? Like, because I know they got chief owned land, they got state or whatever country owned land, they got different types of land, and you got to do different process to make sure that you actually get the land.
Yeah. My elders who were there from New York, they were coaching me.
Got you.
All right. Like I said though, I could I'm listening to you two and I feel your energy, see your energy. And when you get to the point, you go back to some of your mentors, even if they're family members, right? And you realize that this is as far as you could take me.
Yes.
I'm going somewhere
that
you haven't been.
That happens.
Right.
I'm going somewhere you haven't been. Yeah.
And that's okay.
That's just growth.
Come on.
That's growth.
That's okay.
So it's not so much, it's not an arrogance thing.
Right.
I'm listening with a humble ear. Because normally I'm very quiet. You all have me here, you asking me questions.
Yeah.
But normally I'm very quiet. And that's the humble listener.
Sure. I say.
So the elders, you're kicking this to me.
Right.
But I know in my heart,
in my mind,
I'm about to go somewhere you haven't been.
Yeah.
And so, all of the horror stories, I wasn't taking that in.
It wasn't going to let that
it wasn't
fear.
Like, no.
Because if you.
Yeah. So So I got the land. I got the pictures of them pouring libations, for it, all the elders. And eventually, in 2005, I built that first chalet. By this time, I'm already, traveling to Oshun on a regular to get some movement happening. And one day she tells me, clear out your bank account. You're going to max out your credit, and you're going to start building. I had 7 children at the time.
Wow.
All right? I got 7 children. Really? It's time. And let me tell y'all, after I built that first one, I'm walking the beach, and I look up. It was that place. From when I took the week off and was meditating.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
It was that place.
Yeah.
The red rocks. It was the rocks out there red.
Oh, okay.
It's up on the hill.
Okay.
That's the hovering. It was up on the hill.
It was that place. That's crazy.
And later when I had Babalawo come through and read the area, he said this used to be the king's area. It was a passage where everyone walked through this area. So that's why you feel a presence here all the time. So that was the divine warriors around.
Yeah.
All right? It all came together.
That's crazy.
Then I realized, all right, again, I'm led to do what I didn't really have a full understanding of at the time. Right. But again, because I got eyes to see and ears to hear, I'm going to be obedient.
Obedient.
Yeah.
And now we got 7 guest houses there. We got a restaurant, all right, there. We're taking family there every year for service work.
And that's big.
And it's tell all the family and extended family.
Oh yeah,
you got a place in Ghana as a base.
Oh, I'm on the way.
All right?
I'll be there very soon.
Exactly.
I'm on the way, brother.
Exactly.
We got to drop your information on if anybody wants to contact you, if they want to stay at one of your chalets, or they want to buy a drum, or they want to take some drum classes, or whatever. We'll make sure we drop your information on the podcast.
Beautiful. We appreciate that.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful.
Wow.
And the place is called Ocean Breeze.
Ocean Breeze.
Ocean.
All right.
Olokun Breeze.
Yeah. Come on.
Ocean.
Yeah.
Ocean
Breeze.
Yeah. Ocean Breeze.
That's
Ocean
deep.
Breeze. I love it.
Yeah. And you feel it when you're up there. You're like, wow, ain't no mosquitoes here. Why not? The ocean breeze.
The ocean breeze.
Constant breeze up there.
Man.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is crazy. That's amazing, bro.
So how often do you go back?
I'm there.
Back and forth, actually.
I'm like 3 or 4 times out of the year.
Okay.
I'm over there. Okay. We're taking a group of brothers over in October to do the regular heritage and cultural tours, spiritual, awakening, but also to learn how to invest in Ghana. Okay. And we're going to start with land. I've been working on securing beachfront properties out there in my area, and then also in the central region near where we are.
Okay.
So that we can get these coastal areas and communities.
So what's a plot? What does it sell like for a plot, right? Or a plot, or a plot. That's the unit?
Yeah. So ours, we're going to do 2 plots for the ocean view or beachfront.
Now, a plot is how big?
A plot is like 100 by 100.
Okay.
100 by 100.
100 by 100 feet.
Yeah.
Feet.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. And then an acre of farmland.
So 2 plots and a farmland?
2 plots and then an acre of farmland.
So 1 plot's for living, other plots.
2 plots is for your house, for your residential, and then you got the acre for the farming.
For the farming.
Right, all right. And of course, there's room for expansion. You're like, listen, I'm going over, so I need more than an acre. We make it happen.
Right.
But to start off, because we want to build a community a family, an extended family that's really about doing something. There's too many people been buying land over there and they're just sitting on it.
Yeah.
It's just sitting there.
Yeah.
They're not even paying, annual dues to the community.
I heard something on a podcast I was listening to one time, and it was this brother, he was talking about transitioning from the United States over to Ghana. And he was saying a lot of the problem is when, some of our people will go over there and they'll buy land, they'll build on it, but it's like they'll leave and then they'll come back like some months later. But while they're doing that, they're never communicating with the people.
Right.
It's like you're not entering the community and doing things for the community and building that relationship.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like you was talking about, he was saying that's some of the problems with some of our people that go over there. And he said, I think it was a couple of families, they got their house broken in or something.
Right.
And he was like, well, you need to get to learn the people in the community because they don't know you. You're not spending that time with the people. You just coming and they seeing you, but you're not communicating, you're not socializing with them. So it was like, what you expect to happen? They're going to get your attention somehow. So,
I mean, is that any different than our communities? That's what I said when I was going into the projects. I'm coming in to your community.
Right.
I know I got to talk to
the
right ones
I gotta
first
touch,
to establish a
exactly.
relationship.
The elders,
for you to be okay.
chiefs, bum.
That's true.
Got to build that
You got
relationship.
to check in.
That's one of the
build that
modules
relationship.
that these brothers got to learn is how to enter into a community.
A new space, a community.
Before I built anything, we asked the elders what's needed here. I already set my NGO up. It was already, my nonprofit was already set up. What do y'all need? Oh, we got a lot of orphans here. All right, well, what's going on? So they're not in school. That's back when Ghana still had school fees. Right. But they can't afford school fees and they can't afford, uniforms, supplies. All right, well, how many you got? At the time, it wasn't the number of orphans, but it was over 200 children were not in school. So my brother and I was on my board. We went back home, we raised the funds, got everybody in school. Community was like, who is this?
Right. You can do whatever you want out here now.
It's on.
Yeah.
All right. So this is every year, we pick a mission. So now we set up the old middle school. It was all dilapidated. We turned it into a health clinic and a sewing Votech school. That's what they wanted. The sewing school didn't work. So I said, you needed this health clinic because that's working.
Right.
Y'all don't have a maternity ward. You keep going to the other villages to give, birth.
So you can make one there instead of the sewing.
So we set that up as a maternity ward. And now we'll be having a midwife.
Midwives.
She's living there.
Doulas. And
So that's what we're currently finishing is the maternity ward. Excuse me. That's just one other project that we've taken on. And when we bring the family over, we give you options on what you'd like to get involved in. All right. They had the marketplace in town. The roof was messed up, tables messed up, even the cement floor was messed up, and the paint job, there is no paint job, all right? So 2 of my sons and one of their good friends right here in Charlotte, they raised the monies, went over there with me, and they worked with the masons, carpenters, painters, and they hooked that place up in 2 weeks.
Wow.
2 weeks. How you think the community treated them? And now when they go back.
Wow.
Because the marketplace is run by the mothers.
Run by the mothers.
You get to the mamas.
You
in.
You in.
It's a wrap.
You in.
You in.
They'd never forget that.
So raising the funds, is it, grants? Is it GoFundMe? Is it like, what's the strategy there?
For someone coming over doing service work, we don't really give you. It's on you how you gonna raise the funds.
Right.
You might do
but for you or for anybody else, what are some ways of raising those funds to do, to come over and do that type of work?
I always start with family. family and close friends. Give the family and friends an opportunity to say yes or no.
Let's get it started.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then from there.
And then from there, I probably will go, you know, I've moved away from a lot of the grants and crowdfunding and all of that, just because I moved into more of the sustainable, you know, thinking. Right. So, you know, for me, I'm going to bring over, you know, a few bags of moringa, you know?
Right.
And I'm going to sell that. And then I know what that's going to pay for when I get back.
Right.
You know, I might get in touch with Union County and say, hey, you know, why don't we do a little tour? And I know I'm going to take that money and put that towards one of the projects. You know, designated towards that. Nothing wrong with grants. It's just, you all know you can get dependent on grants.
Of course.
And I did at one time, and that I wasn't feeling good.
That wasn't healthy.
That was not healthy.
Yeah.
What was unhealthy about it?
You know, back then, no cell phones. We had the beepers, and I put my beeper down, so everything was the landline phone. Standing there waiting for the phone to ring, or get the letter in the mail saying that you was awarded this grant.
Oh, okay.
The worst.
Yeah.
Especially
like everything hinging on that.
Entrepreneurship all through your system.
You're like, man, I
and you
depend on this.
What?
You're sitting here,
standing
got
there.
over-dependent, so you had to put your entrepreneurial skills back to work.
I had to.
Do you still do both, or you just...
I do the grants now. You know the way I do the grants now. I want to have. If you are working with the United African Men's Foundation,
okay,
and you and I, we've been kicking it for a while. You know, just vibing, networking. What's your position? Oh, we're community outreach. All right, listen, I got this program that's going on. I got an insider. That's the way I work with it now.
Okay, I get it.
You got to tell me what I need to put in here. It was like, with all the work you doing, Kojo, just listen, man. Just write up a little one-page thing, and I'll walk it over to Julie. You got to have a Julie.
that's where we at now. I say, I can dig it. Just do this, and I'm just gonna walk this right on over here
to Julie. Julie.
I just need you to sign off.
I just need you to sign. We're not depending on it, but we gonna slide this in here with Julie, so Julie can sign that check. I say,
because you know we get to a point in our lives and career with the amount of people that we've networked with and the movements we've made. Yeah, we know a lot of the people that press the buttons or write the check.
That write the check, yeah. Like, so you can operate on a different level now.
I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to write that.
Yeah,
just put me in touch. You know, let me. I got friends in Hollywood. And
you earned that. You earned that spot.
Why are you sending me to your foundation?
Connections.
Come on.
You got connections. Inside connections.
Yeah.
Call your people and send that check.
Yeah. Now, granted, y'all notice he didn't start out that way.
Right.
You can't come out. You can't start out that way. You got to put in that work. Once you put in that work,
you got to build the relationship.
You got to build a relationship.
You got to keep them connections.
Which means that you can't be in your emotions. You can't let your emotions run you. You know, because you can't build and maintain these relationships. You know, like that.
Just be nice.
Yeah. I had y'all know Oba Babatunde, the actor. Oba Babatunde.
Right. Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
So Oba Babatunde, he's in the book. I know we're going to get into the book.
We about to dive into the book, and then we're going to dive into Jamaica, too.
All right. And Oba Babatunde narrated my audio book.
Okay. So by the way, we got JEMBE Revolution. The Birth of the Djembe in America by Cojo B. Kojo, what's the best way they can get this book right here?
You can get it on Amazon, or you can go to djemberevolution.com and order it straight from us.
Okay, I say.
Either way.
And the book is how much?
Book is 15, and I think Amazon it's maybe 18, 19.
Okay, I say.
I'm gonna go ahead and put my order in right now, brother.
Yeah, give thanks.
Yeah.
Give
so
thanks.
Please continue.
Yeah, so with Oba Babatunde, you know, he just called me last week. He calls on the regular, and to your point with the relationship building. It's 2 hours later from the conversation, and he says. Now he's 50 years in Hollywood, and he's my elder. All right,
I say,
Kojo, thank you for the amount of time you give me when I call. So you're absolutely right as far as the relationship building.
that's deep.
It's important.
You know, we could shortcut and talk about the successes.
You can't do that.
And again, it's all about the relationship building
and your character.
and your character.
Character will get you anywhere that you need to go.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Wow. So let's get into the book, brother. What was? First of all, let's tell us because I just bought my copy today. So give us give us a quick breakdown and a summary of what the book is about, and then we'll get into how it came to be.
Well, the book is giving you the history of the djembe drum as it relates to its migration from West Africa to America. All right, and it really is that simple. That's what the book is about. It's about the djembe's movement here to America, and it's dated. So we're going from 1929
chronological order
to about 1977.
Okay,
all right, 1980, but touching it a little bit. All right. But we're really dealing with the beginning, what was happening before the djembe got here.
Okay.
When it got here, and then right after it got here. So I interviewed over 100 drummers and dancers.
Oh, wow.
Over a 20-something year period.
Oh, wow.
Who were here in the beginning, including the person on the cover who was the first one to bring that drum on stage here in America, Laji Kamara.
Okay.
Okay. It's my son's artwork there, Rajuma Bay.
Oh, that's nice.
Ra the God.
I see.
Yeah. So that was basically the premise of the book. And what I did not want to do was make it a book about me.
Right.
Because I read too many books. That was supposed to be
about.
Right.
I bought the book. I wanted to read about the subject, and it's all about you.
Right.
I had some of the drummers and dancers that were still sour from some other books because they thought it was going to be this, and it ended up, being about the person, and so they thought mine was going to be similar.
The same thing,
But the success of this book, what the elders who are still in the game and who are teaching, and those that are, keeping the djembe culture alive today in a big way, all of them have agreed that this is the djembe Bible.
I say.
Wow, couché.
I didn't say it. They said it. And the beauty is that it's not a Cojo B thing. It's a collection of all these drummers and dancers, their stories.
Right.
When you start reading, you're going to see it's just all quotes. I just put it together into a story.
Just put it, to a story.
But it's all their experiences. Coming from, spent time with the Grandmaster, Famadou Konate. He's the oldest djembe fola in Guinea. And I went to his village and hung out with him. And then he took me to his birthplace and the birthplace of his mother and father. And he said, I'm going to do something for you that I've never done with anyone else. I'm going to take you to my shrine. Now, if you know anything about these countries like Guinea, they, almost 95% Muslim.
Right.
When we talk about doing the work, that's usually quiet thing.
Right.
But it still happens.
Yeah.
All right?
Of course.
And so when he told me, hey, I want to turn you on to some of the secrets of the djembe. I said, oh, God, let me turn the camera off. He said, no, keep the camera going.
Oh, wow.
An elder? Keep the camera going. I wish more Black Americans would come here to get this like you are. But it's only whites that come here.
That come.
Yep.
Y'all hear that?
Tighten up.
We got to tighten up. Our culture is all we have in all of its aspects.
And it's so practical.
Yeah.
Hands on the drum. It starts with that drum.
I said, well,
that drum will lead you to learning the language.
Yeah.
And just living the lifestyle.
Relationships and the people. But yeah, go ahead, brother.
So I said, wow, I still had some movements to make. We were on our way near the border of Mali and Guinea. And, we had already traveled 20 hours, to get to where he was. So I really wanted to spend more time with him on the way back. All right. Excuse me. And so I said, well, what do you need? He said, I want to do something special for you, Well, what do you need? He said, nah, I take care of it, just give me some cola and roost, bird. I forgot what the word for the bird was, and I'm like, cola and bird.
Wait a minute.
I'm talking.
At this point, how familiar were you with the culture with the Orisha?
No, I'm in it.
You in it?
Yeah, because this is 2018.
Right. So
I just published this book.
This is not too long.
This is 2018.
Oh, this was 18.
That's not long ago.
So okay.
Yeah.
So then you taking it back now, like you tripping.
Yeah. So I'm thinking
cola and a bird.
Maybe it's something different.
Yeah. Maybe gonna do some Ramadan. Something like
I spoke to a lot of the Muslims who are devout, and these brothers and sisters here, West Africa, devout. I've been to parts of Ghana where it's 100% Muslim. Didn't even know it existed. People up here, devout. So you start talking about just even drumming.
Yeah.
A certain way.
Right.
Yeah, you're going to look shun upon you.
What? So he's talking about getting some cola and a bird. Nah, my head is going.
I know you bugging.
I'm like, nah.
It can't be what it sound like.
Yeah.
So we went on with our journey and took care of business where we had to go. And on the way back, we met up with the elder again. And mind you, in the book you're going to read, I said that musically, there's really only been 2 musicians that I really wanted to meet before I headed to the ancestral realm.
Okay.
It was Quincy Jones.
Okay.
And Stevie Wonder.
Okay.
All right? I got connections to both.
Right.
But it was like, I wanted it to be organic.
Make sure.
You know what I mean? I didn't want it to be a forced thing. While I'm in LA, y'all get me over.
Right.
It gotta happen.
Yeah.
Natural.
And then you see Steve where he just got his citizenship, right? Come on.
Okay.
All right. So we're gonna leave that.
I didn't even know.
Okay.
I heard Rita.
Yeah, she been
Rita
there.
Marley been there.
Yeah, she been there for years. Yeah.
Wow.
So Famadou Konate was the only other musician that I wanted to be. He was always my favorite djembe player.
Okay.
Very humble. Sound is so clear.
And he's
crisp.
from Guinea?
He's Guinea. That's the one I'm talking about.
Okay, yeah.
All right. And he, his music sounds very basic and simple. But when you break it down, you see the complexities of it. And he's the one that really mentored Mamadi Keita, who was like most popular djembe player, you know, before he passed.
Wow.
All right. Who is in the book as well. All right. I got to meet Famadou. I'm at his house. I'm on his compound. This is the way
living the dream.
I would envision his compound to be. Right. I had a little throat condition, little nasal thing going, and I seen one of his people that work on the yard. She put the kettle, put the pot with the water. And I was like, yes, pulled my roots out.
Yeah.
Said, excuse me, He's like, yeah, sure, you know. And Famadou's like, hey, what's that? You know, sell something, you know, blah, blah, blah. Later on, I said, you know, I want to leave this with you. I always got some of the medicines.
Right.
I want to leave. He was like, what? What does it do? You know, he didn't speak no English. So I have my man, the translator.
Right.
What does it do? He's like, all right, come on. I mean, like, here with it.
Yeah.
And again, it was confirmation that we was bonding way before this session.
I say.
You know? Yeah. So he took me to the to his shrine. And it's outside with the trees. One thing you learn about djembe is that the original djembe was done from the lenke tree. That's lenke tree is the tree for djembe.
That's the tree.
And he had one that grew as twins. You don't see that. Near it is the jala tree. And the jala tree is what me and my sons, we love the jala. It's the dark, dark wood that almost looks it almost looks like that purple and red. You know that dark look? All right. So the jala tree is strictly for healing. And I was like, wow. Because that's our drum. That's what we love to play.
So the wood from that drum.
The tree. And the wood from that tree.
Right.
Jala.
The wood from that tree. Right.
So lenke is when you want to do extraordinary things with the djembe.
Okay. And
then you have Yoroko. Yoroko is where the EMEs hang out.
Right.
In the Yoroko, Ivory Coast has them.
Right.
Guinea has them.
Right. All through West Africa.
All in that area, right?
Yeah.
Nigeria, right. Yoroko tree, all right? So those are the woods that that's what we carry. We carry those drums. So here it is at the shrine. It's these trees. And I look and I see some feathers on the ground. I see the bottles, you know, I see libations, I see coat.
They get busy.
Let me turn this camera. No, keep it on.
Wow.
What? Still? This man was on a mission.
Yeah.
He was like, no, you getting it all. I told you how I felt about this man, right?
Right.
We leave his shrine and we're leaving the village and we're at the car. He decided he's going to stay for a little while back with the fam in the village, his birthplace.
Okay.
And I don't know how much I had in my pocket at the time. I had their currency, the Guinea franc.
Okay.
And I had some US dollars. And you know, when I roll, I'm doing the big heads, the Benjis, because you get the most.
You get the most.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's all I got.
Right.
All right. I didn't know what I had. I just put it in his hands. And he looked at it. He was like, oh. And fall to his knees. I grabbed him before he goes, no, not with me.
Right.
The way I feel about
Please don't do this.
Not for this. What I just experienced.
Right.
He said, no. That's stern with me. No. I have to do this. You had no idea what I was thinking about, praying for, what I have going on here.
Right.
It's not about you. I'm giving thanks.
Sure.
Went to his knees, giving thanks. Stood up. I pulled out a flick of my family and said, this is the only request I have, is that when you do your work, just have their images and their energy with you.
I say.
So that they be well and they make it here.
I say.
And that's how we parted that day. And we've been tight.
Ever since then.
Check on him. He got sick, sending money, you know. His family.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know. So that picture, when you open the book, and any djembe, you know, so-called master djembe players out here, when they open the book and you see, open the beginning, very beginning here. Yeah, that's me with him.
Okay.
Coming out of his shrine.
Wow.
All right? That is checkmate.
That was.
No one's ever been to his home.
Oh, okay.
But you definitely have not been to his shrine.
To the shrine.
And to his birthplace.
To the birthplace.
All right?
Yeah, he had already had a conversation with Spirit before you even showed up.
Come on.
That was going,
You already knew that was going to happen. Yeah.
He called his attendant and said, bring my djembe from the house. They brought his djembe out. He wanted to tell me, do you hear that sound? Ging, ging. You know how drums do, they want their drums. Ging. That's the way djembe sounds. It sounds like a bell. It's got to talk. All right? He said, all right, go get the other drums. Let's workshop. Talking to me. I was like, oh.
You in heaven right now.
I mean, that would be wonderful, but I just wanted to get the history and the story from you. He said, oh, Cojo B. Nobody come here to get the history.
To get the history and the culture.
No one.
They don't understand, and that's the key. That's the thing. They coming out there for...
They want to be master drummer.
Right.
I learned from Famadou. He taught me these licks. I learned this rhythm. Nobody knows this rhythm. Now I'm the man. Now you came here for the history.
Right.
Oh, I'm going to do something special for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keep the camera rolling.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah. So, that's the energy from these books. All these elders who I sat with.
Yeah.
Man, y'all gonna go through this. I mean, the Oba, that I really wanted to get more info. When I found out that your Oba, Ibaye, surgeon, when he was an artist and traveled with Catherine Dunham.
Yeah.
And he was with Denny Zulu.
The 40s.
Yeah.
The 40s, Dana Denny Zulu.
He was with Nana.
Yeah, he was with a lot of people.
Come on. Yeah. Now, I mean, I'm dealing with people in here 40s. That knew him when he was an attorney.
Oh, that's deep.
Yeah.
I mean, the stories that was coming out of these elders. All right? My elders in the drum. We have an elder, Bradley Simmons. He is a professor up at Duke University.
Okay.
He's our foremost expert on African drum and dance in America.
Okay.
All right? I was just remember I had to be in Atlanta? I was in Atlanta with elders who were like, yeah, I remember when Bradley used to come in, little boy coming into the class.
You with the elders. You with the supreme elders. Wow.
Book 2. Book 2.
I said.
Yeah, book 2.
We might have to talk to some of them. We got to document, their stories and history.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Book 2.
Wow. That's book 2 right there.
Book 2. Wow. It's happening. It's happening. While they're here,
gotta get it.
While they're here,
gotta archive it.
They're not gonna be here forever.
Teach it. Pass it on to our children. Pass it on to our community.
That's
how the culture survives.
The history and the culture. But see, we just had this conversation. We just came from the Gungun Festival at Oyotunji last weekend. And one of the things that Kabiyesi Oloyotunji right now, he was talking about the history of, basically he was talking about the history of, the culture of, Ifa, Orisha, in this country. And just the fact that a lot of people don't know a lot of history about how things started here.
There you go.
Yeah.
You got a lot of people that's coming into it recently that know a little bit and they learned a little bit and they say things out of the ignorance of not knowing and not understanding the history. They tend to say things that sound crazy.
That's
like
right.
You got to know the history of a thing if you're into it, so you can understand the right perspective to have, now. And the elders that you're talking about in the drum and everything was synonymous with that cultural with that spiritual movement.
That's right.
I don't care if you played the drum, West African drum, djembe, doom, whatever. Everybody, conga, it was part of that community.
Yeah, it was part of
that
movement.
Cultural, that movement, that spiraitual movement. You can't separate.
That's right. That's right.
You had Chief Bay, people like Chief Bay out there, Olatunji and all of them. They was part of that whole movement. Even Fela. Fela came.
I say.
And so on. They was
you can't separate the music from the drumming, from the culture and the spiritual traditions.
No. You when you get into it, you're gonna see just how many of them were initiated. Yeah. How long they've been initiated. You know, you're talking the 60s initiated. 60s. They just coming out of their teens, just coming out of high school. Because now you turn onto this drum, and then your mentors, they already initiated it. Right. They got beads on, and you wondering, well, what's that about?
Part.
Yeah. And they take you out to a toke, take you out to a bembe, and that's a wrap.
That's a whole different.
You got drumming in y'all?
You got drumming, man. Come on.
That's a whole different.
It's over.
Come on,
aspect of it now.
But see, it's a different approach today because today is about the beads or the regalia,
beads, pots, and titles,
and exactly. So it's not that drum. It's not. I know when people come through any Oyotunji lineage, especially young men, that's the first thing they get introduced to. You got a drum. You got a drum. You got a drum. Everybody, don't come. If you've been coming here for 2 years and you don't have a drum or you don't know a rhythm, it's a problem. But you got a drum. Versus what we see, I know being an Oyotunji child and then coming out of Oyotunji when I got older, and I came out of Oyotunji just traveling around and living in different parts of the city, I didn't see a lot of drumming. So I was doing it, and I was linking with the people that was, at least a drummer that was doing it, but not like it was in the 60s or the 70s. It began to kind of die down. People start getting more into I know what, like, in about 95, like I start seeing the whole kind of movement starting to change. People start getting into the beads and the titles and, and it's like, okay, well, you think you don't know how to drum? Like, so, yeah. And the men had to know how to drum. That was like a requirement for rites of passage. That you got to, when you go through Akinkanju, one of the tests is you got to know a certain amount of drum beats, drum rhythms. So, but now where we at now is more like you're in the culture if you got all of your beads. And it's like,
and that's not quite it. There's a lot of people missing the mark.
Or the women don't know how to at least do fungal lafia. You know what I mean? Like, it's
they dress
the beads.
To kill,
like,
though.
I got my lekes.
They dress to kill.
You know how to do fungal lafia dance or Orisha Oko dance? Do you know how to do any Orisha dance? You got the beads. But you don't know.
You got the clothes with the gele and
you don't know Eshu dance.
Outfit.
You don't know a Batala dance. You got these beads on. You don't know the dance
or the songs
or
the language. Like there's more when you say you in this culture. Really, what defining that? What does that mean? I know that's different to different people, but there are some standards that.
Like I remember those days where you couldn't, if you got to know Ogun Eleke. You better know Ogun's dance or Ogun's chant song. Come, we drumming and there's Ogun there out there, and you got Ogun's beads on, and you don't know the step. Like, okay, Wambi, pull you to the side.
What we doing?
That's it.
Today is different. It's like,
there you go.
You in. Got the LAKs, you in.
Wow.
You're honorary blood now. Chris Brown, everybody, come on in. You can just be a blood.
Wow. That's real.
Microwave. That's the way we at right now.
That's real.
You know what I mean?
The hustle,
The hustle. So it's
short term. We don't want to work for it. We just want it. Want to buy? Can I buy it?
Wow. That's
people going
to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So that is it.
The drum. It always starts with the drum and then the dance.
Right.
The The drum comes.
You know, when them two go.
The rhythm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad we having this. This is a beautiful conversation.
Yeah, we got to get into Jamaica.
Yeah, okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but I'm glad you're speaking the way you're speaking because it's actually is reactivating even for me as an I got a lot of I do a lot of Orisha work and IFA work, but I'm like now that you're speaking about the drum, I'm like okay, I gotta get. I drum, but I'm like I need to start passing it on.
There you go.
You know, I gotta start passing it on.
Teaching more, doing it more, and exploring the business side. I think what you said was really important too because it's out there, and you've proven it tonight that you can follow the path of the culture, of the traditions, of the drum.
That's right.
And be good.
Yeah.
And be better than good.
Exactly.
And be comfortable and do well with it. I don't think, even for me, like I think most people don't get that part. Right. Or don't look at it that way or don't have that understanding. Right. As a matter of fact, you know, you could probably put together a coaching program to show people how to do that if they want to do that. You know what I mean? I think people would pay for that because, you know, they're learning how to fish.
I'm camping. That's
instead of you doing it for them, you teach them, you know, you have your coaching program. Or you like the drum, okay, but you don't think you can support yourself and your family? Let me show you, you know, how to do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know, at one point with the grant writing, I got so good at it. And I had started setting up grassroots nonprofits, 501c3. All right. Before that, I was told that, you know, you got to deal with an attorney. So I went the attorney route. I knew some attorneys. It's taking like a year to do it. And then the dollars that they were charging. I didn't pay it, but, you know, I was asking them for others.
Right.
And I said, wow, mine only took me 3 months to get. And all I paid was what, you know, the fee was for the application.
Right.
Everything else was free.
They're getting you.
Come on. And a year? The longest
Don't take a year to do.
Longest it took was like 3.5 months. All right? So I was doing that work with some people. Teaching you how to get your 501c3. What you need to do to set yourself up properly for that. Because, you know, the drum, especially the drum business, is not for everyone. You know,
not at all.
I mean, you might be someone that's going to import some, or you buy them wholesale from someplace, and you're gonna hustle them. You know, you sell them.
Right.
But I mean, to really be in this djembe drum business, you got to know that drum inside and out. All right. Now, if you're about performing and doing classes, at some point, someone's going to check you.
Of course. Of course.
So, if you've been following, you know, a drummer that grew up in it, and you done learn a few, you know, rhythms and songs and dances. And you can only go so far with that. You know, taking somebody else's repertoire, if you haven't been, you know, really engrossed and really in it. You can only go but so far. Right? And then eventually someone's going to come and check you. Now what are you going to do? My children, they can't be checked. They were born into it. We don't profess to know more than what we've learned up to this point. So if you have something else, I'm here for it.
Bring it.
Let me learn it.
Let me learn it.
But I'm born into this. I ain't going nowhere. Because this is my life.
It's part of my genetic makeup.
That's it. You know.
It's in every fiber of my bone.
Come on. Come on. That's why you say it's you know, talking about it. I know your hand's starting to swell up.
Oh yeah. It's like
this brother, he, you know. Oh yeah.
You know,
it's just that business aspect of it that, you know, which one of the reasons for this podcast is to talk a lot more about business, because I think that's where we as a people, where we lack a lot of knowledge and information on. And now the information is out there. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta, you know, go get it.
Right.
Use other people's money. It's out there.
Yeah, definitely. You know, definitely. And the sustainability is very serious. You know, I produced the product with the book. We have Now we have probably about 15 acres of moringa, organic moringa trees in Ghana. And we're working on getting full processing system set
facility right on the land
where we do everything ourselves. Right. You know, right now we've been supporting we have pharmacists, the head of agriculture at the University of Ghana, Cape Coast, who's on the team. They're developing a formula for natural medicine for us. You know, chloroseptic spray.
Right.
I have a root that we use that takes away sore throats. It eats up mucus. You know, Dr. Sabi, mucus,
Yes.
The root of all illness.
The root,
This thing takes care of mucus. You got a sore throat. When my little children saying, "Daddy, where's the contos?" They don't like to be chewing those sticks and drinking that root tea, but they know when they got that sore throat, they looking for that conto. So I said, you know, not all the fam wants to be chewing on sticks and roots. So what if I do a little spray?
So,
and a little lozenge.
little lozenge.
A little lozenge on. So I
do that.
Literally, they just sent me the pictures of the prototypes.
Oh, shit.
All right.
Man, that's big, brother.
That can be done at home. We can do, you know what I mean?
Instead of exporting
we can get it done.
We got the natural resources. Now we just have to have the refineries and the machinery and the setup to produce it.
Come on.
And refine it or whatever.
Bring it here.
At home.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Even FDA is over there to certify your natural medicine.
The U.S. of America, United States of America, FDA in Ghana.
In Ghana.
Okay.
Now, y'all know Nigeria. You know you need to get something done. You gonna get it done. That's all I gotta say.
Oh, man.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I'm
they
saying
gonna get it done.
They're going to get it done.
100% made in Ghana. FDA certified. Take it anywhere on the planet and it's ready.
That's $1 million, billion dollar, multi-million dollar.
And honestly, Bobbers, I don't even want to do that retail stuff. I love farming.
You just want to do the wholesaling.
I'm on the garden. I'm in the garden more than I'm in the workshop with the drums.
Okay.
I want to farm. So if you got a product you want to develop with moringa or the roots or what have you, I got an acre that's sitting here for you. This is your moringa. That's what I saw your hat on my brother Marathi here.
Right.
I said, Marathi, I got 2 acres of moringa for. He gets moringa. Every time I come back, he's taking most of my moringa.
It's good too.
Brother, I got 2 acres just for you and your products. That's what I want to do. I don't want to do the 1-2-1-2. You know, I have the products.
Yeah.
You know, you saw Jules. That's my grandmother. Talked about her earlier.
Right.
The restaurant's called Jules.
Right.
Anything coming in is Jules. I want to do the massive farming, wholesale. So all of you all that got natural products.
Yeah.
You into the moringa.
Yeah.
You into eliminating mucus. Blood cleanser, working on the immune system.
Okay.
I got the acreage of your main ingredients, the root of your medicine in Ghana. Organic.
So you can take that and make whatever you're going to do, whatever you're going to do with it.
Come on. Because that's what the farms are doing. They're going over there getting with the foresters. They know them trees. Take me out to the forest, identify these trees for me. What do they do? Because the people going over, they know how to extract already. They got their labs already set up. Just take me to the tree.
Just take me to the tree.
What does it do? Oh, all right.
That's just like that. Okay, here go the money.
Yeah. Thank you.
And so they buy the land or they lease it.
Thousands of acres of land.
Yeah. They just
cultivating
buy
these
it.
trees.
Yeah.
I went to the northern region of Ghana one time. Thousands. I couldn't see nothing else but these biofuel trees.
Biofuel.
This is in the early 2000s.
Like flex fuel?
It was, I can remember the actual tree itself.
Yeah.
thousands of acres. This company from Germany. Ghana, you're not producing biofuel from these trees.
So they're getting the stuff from the trees, shipping it over there and doing it and selling it and whatever.
Boom. We got to get in the game.
We got to come home, y'all. See, we don't even understand about this.
We got to go home.
With the average, we don't really know a lot about. Some of us do. I don't want to talk about, and just say that we don't know this, we don't know that. But I'm talking about the masses of our people, just a normal average person. When you think about land, we've gotten away from knowing and understanding the importance of owning land and the benefits of owning land and how you can make money off the land in a sustainable manner. And I'm talking about me too. Like I'm kind of aware, but I don't know as much as I feel like I should know.
That's right.
On that, on that subject.
That's
so
right.
I just like to keep it real. I mean, if you just take 100 of us, 100 black folks right now and put them in a room, how many are going to know what to do with that land?
That's right.
Maybe 10.
That's right. Why did I tell you October? The brothers are coming with me.
And my birthday in October, so I might have to try to make that.
Yeah,
You're a Libra?
I'm Scorpio.
Okay.
It's the end of the month.
Okay.
End of the month. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So it's first the brothers, then the sisters will be next. And I'm my thing with the brothers is I bought land the first time. And you know what? There was so much more beachfront I could have. It's just the funds, the funds was not there, but still I could have raised the funds.
Yeah.
Because now the Lebanese, the
Chinese,
the Russians,
yeah.
They all came through and bought up the harbor areas. And J.J. Rawlins, back then the president at that time in the 90s, said, Africans in the diaspora, come to Ghana. Buy
land,
oceanfront, beachfront, harbors.
Right.
Because it's about economic development right now.
Right.
We selling.
Right.
We coming up.
Yeah.
But we want y'all to come.
To come.
I answered that call. I went. But I really should have gone much harder because there was so much land. I show you all pictures of what we have. I got all of that for under $2,500,
Wow.
Beachfront, acre, beachfront. This is paradise.
Come on, man. Stop it. What year was that?
That was in 97.
So what is the 97?
97.
Yeah,
So what is the 2 plots in the acre going for right now, beachfront?
You know
Ghana
what?
Property.
Because I have set up this investment group with my children, particularly my oldest son is the first one. You've met him. He's a music producer now. Successful music producer. And we're pulling in other families slowly as they get serious. Because we've had plenty of families say, we you hear me, right? Even my children.
Yeah.
All right? We are working on making sure that we cross every T, dot every I. We don't want no messy
Problems.
anything. Yeah. I've been through it. I'm telling you how long I've been there.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
We want no mess. So I'm in and out of lands department. I got my connections, dealing with the chiefs, dealing with surveyors. I want to make sure when we put our name on that, that's the only name that could ever come up.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
All right?
Yeah. That's
so
the
that
trick.
when the family comes over, all I have to do is transfer. So you're still going to go through the process. You're going to go to the elders. You're going to present yourself, what your plan is, and we're going to talk about how to invest in this thing from A to Z. But at the end of the day, all you're going to have to do is sign a piece of paper
Yeah.
and put your money up.
Right.
All right. So I don't want to give you a price right now.
I got you.
Until
that step
to be determined.
Each step costs us something.
We'll keep everybody updated, on that and what's going on.
Nowhere near what you paying for half an acre in the U.S. anywhere for beachfront or ocean.
I can imagine.
Nowhere near. All right? Nowhere near. When I left Connecticut, we was almost at $1 million for a half an acre by the water.
Oh, yeah.
All right? Just the land.
I thought, that's
just the land.
That's just the land.
Nah. We talking, you're not going to be over 20 grand. I'm throwing out a number.
Right.
You're not going to be over 20 grand.
You're going right.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Beautiful.
We're going to have it for y'all. And we'll definitely
Is that
keep
just
it up
the
there.
land? That's just for the land.
That's just the land.
And you got to figure your chalet out or whatever you want to build on.
Right.
There.
And we got contractors.
Right. Builders.
If you want to go with them.
Okay.
We got management, to handle it. And we're going to show you how to set up, your own association so you keep working on developing the community together.
Right.
Together.
Right.
The road needs to come in.
Together.
Do that together.
Together.
We do all of that. You want to get something to take care of your property over there? Here's your farmland. Right now, vegetables is big in Ghana. You need vegetables. Cabbage seeds is hard to get. Cabbage seeds.
Why are the seeds hard to get?
Because vegetables is big right now. That's one of the biggest commodities.
Wow.
See what I'm saying?
Wow.
Vegetables and coconut.
Vegetables and coconut. That's the thing to grow right now. Just 2 of them.
That's just 2. Snails. Snailery.
The giant land snails.
Snailery.
He said snailery. I have learned a new word tonight. If y'all don't know, I didn't know that this was a thing. So it's like snail farming.
Snail farming.
Wow.
You hear me?
So what did the escargot? What are they doing?
All right. People eat the snails.
Yeah.
I just learned this, man.
It's like,
cousin.
what's the escargot? That's French, ain't it? They charge probably about $50 to eat a snail.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The snail slime.
That's the common thing.
That's
though.
medicine.
Snail slime.
That's medicine.
It's medicine.
Cosmetics.
Yeah.
Cosmetics. Sell yourself snail slime.
They use that in cosmetics.
Cosmetics. Yeah. Wow. I've heard of that. I've heard of it.
Sneaky suckers. I didn't know that because in the culture, we use the slime or the blood or whatever you want to call it, the fluid from the giant land snail that's used for a lot of different things. Yeah. But I didn't know the cosmetic thing.
We just talking one investment. Snailery. You see what I'm saying?
Snailery. Damn. I'm going to go Google that later. I'm going to go on YouTube and find a snailer. And I want to see how they do this.
Yeah.
That's amazing to me.
Well, soon you're going to see us doing it.
Wow. You're going to do some snailery?
I'm a farmer. Why not?
Why not?
We got acres and acres of land. Why not? I mean,
why not do a snailery?
This brother, my cousin told me, I got a cousin over there doing the snailery. That's why I learned about something. And just found out that this cousin is over there.
Wow.
1 kilo of snail slime, $56K US.
$56,000.
You're not hearing me.
For a kilo
of
snail slime.
That's all I got to say.
I'm dumbfounded right now.
That's all I got to say.
I gotta do some research.
Yeah. That's all I got to say.
How many snails does it take to get a kilo of snail slime?
Don't get distracted.
And how do they and how do they get it? I got so many questions right now.
Distracted.
Cause they gonna take that kilo of that snail slime and they gonna make
what? Cosmetics?
So much. They gonna make so much cosmetics. With
a kilo of slime?
Kilo.
A kilo? Come on.
They gonna bust that down. They gonna cut that and dilute that down
I'm looking at it right now.
You seeing it, right?
Yeah.
All right.
For cosmetics.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
Yeah.
They gonna make $5 million worth of cosmetics off a $56,000 bag, a kilo of snail slime.
They put it on the face. They just put the snail. From what I'm looking at here, she put the snail on the lady. And the
in Africa?
No, this is somewhere. I don't know where this
like
is at.
How they put the cucumbers on your eyes. Yeah, you can put the snail on you.
And the slime is going on there.
Shut up. But most people they don't want to put. They ain't putting.
Yeah,
no
they ain't putting
on
no snail in their face.
They'll pay for that. They'll pay for that. That makeup though.
Look at it.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah,
the latest fad. But most people gonna buy that jar or whatever they use.
Oh yeah, they gonna buy it and then
right. There's a lot for the family to get involved in the land. Like we talked about earlier, it's about relationships. It's beautiful what you Babas are doing here.
I share the way.
Well,
thank you, brother. Appreciate that.
Definitely.
Want to give you your flowers too, man, for what you got going on. This you humble
for
guy.
all of the work you've done from over the years.
You humble, but you doing some big things, man. You know, huge.
Yeah.
Give thanks.
It's amazing things. Yeah.
Give thanks.
Et couche.
Give thanks.
Let's talk about Jamaica, man, before we sign out. Yeah. I've always wanted to go. I've been to Jamaica 3 times and haven't made it up to the Maroons yet. That's always been my thing. I gotta get there. So I'm gonna make it happen this year, God willing. But tell us a little bit about your connection over there. And what's going on with the Maroons and the whole scene in Jamaica.
So, again, that year, 97 was deep because we ended up over there twice. We being my wife and I, we went, her family, her father's Jamaican. So we went over twice in 97. And when we went over, it was my first time. And I said, I got to go up to where the Maroons are. Right, because I'm already studied and I'm reading up on the culture and the family was a family that was doing kind of well. They in Mandeville and they're like, nah, nobody goes up there.
You want to go out there? You want to go out there to the projects?
And you done rented a car, like you driving everywhere too. Your first time, Yeah, it's like we going. Family. I told you how I've been.
Yeah, yeah.
But we love y'all, thank you.
Right.
So we hit the road and when we get up there, we meet up with this elder, Ross George. And Ross ends up being a drum maker. He meets us as soon as we come in. And that's who you had to see first, sign in and check out the little gift shop. And I walk in and I said, hey, it's drum, man. Y'all got Goombe here? He's saying, hey, you know our drum. I was like, yeah, I know the Goombe. He said, yeah, this is our traditional Maroon drum. I was like, this is a Ghanaian drum, the Goombe. He said, hey. He didn't even know.
He didn't even know that was a traditional Ghanaian drum.
You hear me, right?
Yeah.
97.
97.
All right. So he looks at my name and said, hey, what's your name? I said, Kojo. He said, wait till I take you up to see the statue of our founder, Kojo. Kojo, Nani was another one, and Kwabena. They were siblings.
Yeah. Okay.
They set up the different Maroon communities back then.
Okay.
So I'm in the one of Kompong where Kojo set it up. So he's bugging. Kojo.
Yeah.
The way he was responding, I said, oh, Elder, listen. If you went to Ghana, there's so many Kojos.
Right. Straight from Ghana.
But he don't know.
Right.
He don't know.
You don't know.
Education. This is my elder. He don't know. Crazy. He's in he's up in the mountains. Like you said, you've been there, you haven't been up there.
Yeah.
All right. So we do the tour and we enjoying ourselves and and he's a drum maker, so we hit it off.
Yeah.
So I've been back and forth to Jamaica. I didn't go up to a compound, and years went by. It's 2015. I get a call from one of our funders. There's a reggae artist who claims to be Maroon from this community and wants some support in building up the community. So he says, we want to have a culture group up there. They play drums and dance, but they kind of losing their way, and we really want to get them back culture,
Yeah.
So they were like, oh, we got a person for you. So they contacted me, put up all the bread. I grabbed my father, grabbed the elder dancers from that group, and we go out there. And we spread the love. I brought about 60 djembes, brought all this fabric, doon-doons, all right? Just brought the magic. And then I dedicated 5 years. Every 3 months, I was going up there, training. But the way I train.
Training them.
Let's get back to how we sustain ourselves here. Y'all talking about sovereign. Y'all not sovereign.
Yeah.
That's what I got to learn. Well, y'all still on Jamaica. Y'all still up underneath Jamaica. Y'all been kicking sovereignty. Y'all not sovereign. All right. Every time I leave, I usually go to the grill someplace just to, debrief, cool out before I catch my flight.
Yeah.
Went down one time. I always have the warriors with me, hang out with me until they ready to go back. We eat, break bread, get in the water. This one particular time, security said, yeah, you all guests? Nah, this is our brethren. He talking to me, he's like, hey, where y'all coming from? I said, a compound. Oh, the Maroons up there. Hey. Nah, man, them have tails. You don't want to be around them.
He said they got tails.
You hear me?
Damn.
You hear me?
Wow.
Damn.
What does that even mean?
At this time? Like you said, you know for
Like an urban legend.
You remember certain areas
You just don't.
Yeah, the fam, like where we from,
yeah.
we don't really go over there.
We don't go over there.
So you had your own little things.
Your own little thing, yeah.
Right? You know where we from.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Like Mount Vernon's like, I don't mess around Brooklyn.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
South Bronx don't, chill. So he's like, nah, you don't go to Compound.
You don't go there.
I said, they all Maroons, bro. Hey.
Yo, this is crazy, man. This is crazy to me.
Tails?
Said they got tails. Them niggas got tails in there.
Tail.
Got to be kidding me, bro.
Yeah. So check it. Whoa. We train them. I'm training adults, school-age youth, and the young youth. And now they ain't never had djembes up there. All right?
They usually play that.
They're playing their gombe, all right, different sizes, their bell. And 3 years consecutively, they entered into the Jamaican countrywide talent contest. It starts off in your little area, then to your
if you win, they go to the district, and the region,
then you go to the country,
the big
finals.
If you make it,
they won gold 3 years in a row.
Wow,
playing djembe.
Wow,
playing djembe.
That's deep.
Djembes.
Wow.
Who are these Maroons?
From the Maroons.
3 years in a row.
Wow.
All right.
That's impressive, brother. That is really amazing.
I brought a herbal book from them with Ross George when I first went that time in 97. And I brought it back with me. I said, y'all know this? And I met one of the herbalists, one of the mamas. I was staying in her house, didn't even know it. She said, yeah, I'm in there. That was the book that we put together. I said, you know all these herbs? Yeah, man, now I'm in her territory now.
Right.
Oh, it's going to be 8 hours today. You're not going to class today.
We about to get on these herbs.
Oh, we gonna be on these herbs.
Yeah.
You're not going nowhere today.
Oh, that's you?
What? Yeah. So we put together this project to bring the book forward again. Add some more herbs. You know, add some more roots. Now I'm learning, like, man, I seen that in Ghana. I say, you know, it would be interesting. I have a nephew I brought in years ago. He's one of the king, the Ashanti king. He's one of his royal drummers, dancers.
Okay.
I grabbed him when he was in high school. He came over here to the U.S., brought him into the group, and he's been like my nephew. He's in Charlotte now.
Okay.
Right? Brought him down here as well.
But he from Ghana.
He from Ghana, Ashanti. Like he grew up around the king's palace. All right, that's all he knows.
Okay.
When the king now travels somewhere, they call you have to be there to drum, or dance, whatever. But mostly drumming.
Right.
All right. So I brought him because now it's like I'm convinced these people are Ghanaians.
Yeah. Of course.
I've been there all these years now. I need to bring a Ghanaian.
Bring somebody.
And let me just watch. I'm not even going to talk to him about what I... Exactly.
It's like a social experiment. I'm just going to watch it.
Let me just watch. Right? He gets there. And we bring more drums, all right? We bring these Shanti drums and some God drums, and he's teaching them, you know, these rhythms and goombes, you know. And I remember one day we were outside, and he was like, wow, there's a lot of hawks out here. And they were like, nah, those aren't hawks. He's like, well, what are they big? And he's like, yeah, those are cocos. And he's like, what did you say? I said, that coco. I didn't know what he was talking about.
Right.
He said, those are crows? I was like, wait a minute, how you know?
How you know, Co?
He's like, that's what we call them.
That's what we call them.
Co.
Oh,
I was
Cocos. Here
are
we
y'all
go.
kidding me?
Now it's unfolding now.
Are y'all kidding
This is what you've been waiting for. You was trying to see how it was going. It came through the language.
Are y'all kidding me? We went to the herbal garden. I said, yo, let me check out this herbal garden that we rejuvenated, and we're getting the herbs going again, trying to work on sustainability here. And we go, and the guys are identifying the different ones. And he said, this is man strong back. And he was like, oh, hold on, let me see. He's like, we call them breaking back.
Same thing.
Same thing. It was just.
I seen the strong back. I know the strong back herb you're talking about from Jamaica.
Yes. One thing after the next. I just sat there. You know, like you watching a documentary.
Yeah.
Ancestors.
So with the herbs, it's just boom, 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 or just everything, just in general.
Everything. In general.
Yeah.
Everything. The food.
The food. The animals.
The roosters and the birds, they were up in the trees. And he said, oh, they don't live here with this house, huh? And I was like, nah, those birds, I know they're birds. He was like, any birds that up in the trees like that, they're like wandering birds. They don't just sit up in trees.
They're not,
when they
live
here. Yeah, when they live there.
Yeah.
I was like, B, you are flipping my lid. You know nothing about this place, but you know everything.
But you know everything.
This is your home.
This home. This home.
This home. He didn't even really fully get it.
Yeah.
You know, it was like, wow.
The Ghanaian brother or
the
Ghanaian brother.
Yeah. Because, you know, I exposed him to so much stuff.
Yeah.
There's something else Kojo got. Another adventure you got me on.
Yeah.
You know.
But you sitting back peeping everything.
I was like, okay, they related.
I was in school.
This was my experience. Shout out to my brother Yazi, born again, Africa, Atimpoku, out there by the Volta River, the Adomi Bridge. That's my brother, one of my best friends out there. He's been in Ghana about, 13, 14 years now. So, but anyway, I went out there 2016, me and my brother Efumba Wale, Kevin Holman from VA. So we in Atimpoku, and we with Yazi, and he had this guy that was around at the time. Exodus was his name. So we with him, you know, and I'm just peeping him out. He had the whole roster thing going on, but I'm not really thinking much of it. So he takes us to wherever we were in the hood. You know, we go to the bootlegger, whatever they call it there, the shot house. You know, we drinking the shekete and all the local liquor and just going around. And as I'm noticing, you know, I'm looking at him and some other people that he was talking to, and I'm listening to the music, and I'm like, these guys act like Rastas, but they never been to Jamaica. You know, because when you think, I'm from Norfolk, I'm from VA, from us here, we think, you know, Rasta, you know, all of that, you think Jamaica. But like you said, they come from Ghana.
Come on.
These people had never been to Jamaica. And I'm going to say this sounds ignorant, but they was acting Jamaican.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
What I know.
What you know.
You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking like there's no connection between West Africa and Ghana with Jamaica, but I saw it with my own two eyes.
That's
like even Exodus, he looked like a Rasta. He looked Jamaican.
Yeah.
You know, they had the accent and everything. And these people have never been to Jamaica.
Come on.
So that was what I saw.
It's clear.
It's clear. It's very clear.
Yeah, it's clear. And you know, one of the things that I've learned through the years, especially being in Ghana, is that we in the diaspora have influenced so many of our brothers and sisters.
Oh yeah,
on the land.
Globally, on the land.
And we've been working to reconnect with home, but home has been following us so much. And a lot of what we do has been out of survival. We've been in survival mode for a long time.
Right.
And we're saying, don't follow our survival mode. Stay with the tradition.
Right. Sure.
We get back home.
Right.
Sure.
We need the education.
Yeah.
But so many of the family have gotten away from it following us. Because they think, you know, we're the epitome.
Nah, we trying to come back home.
We're trying to come back home, exactly.
You know, we just picking money off the trees from where we are.
Think.
All right? So I want to look like you, I want to talk like you.
And dress like you and go
like
to
you.
America. They just want to come to America. No, you don't. Stay there.
So even with the Ras, you know, movement, they have like what they call pig. It's like the pig Latin, you know. It's like a patois,
right.
And it sounds very close.
Yeah.
All right, but it's in their accent.
Okay, and like
when
an
it
African
sounds Jamaican,
accent. Yeah.
it is. They love reggae.
Yeah.
And they love Jamaican culture.
Yeah.
So some of that is copying Jamaica.
Right.
Yes.
But they do have
But Jamaica,
naturally, they already have all of the elements there.
The element. They gave birth to it, and now being them in Jamaica, it's like they kind of got their own little tang to it.
Yeah.
So now they're learning from that little tang. There we go. But the root of it, we birthed you. Like the root of it is Ghanaian.
Yeah.
It's just a little flavoring from because they're over there now.
Thank you.
Yeah,
that they picking up on. Right.
Different environment.
It gets deep. Wow. The African Union, a few years ago, recognized the African diaspora as the sixth region in Africa. A lot of people don't know this.
No, I didn't know that.
So you got the 5 parts of Africa.
Right.
The 6th now is African diaspora. We got an ambassador.
And when did that happen?
I was at a celebration in Akompong when the representative came over. My uncle is a diplomat in Ghana. And he was really vying for that position as the ambassador of the African diaspora. But this sister got the position. You look it up and you'll see. We got a seat in the African Union, and it's not really known.
Man,
Africans in the diaspora, we have a seat. We're recognized now.
I did not know that.
Africans in the diaspora, we have a seat
with the African Union.
With the African Union.
Not Ghana, though. United.
Oh, United.
Ghana, the United Africa.
Africa. Yeah, not just Ghana.
All of Africa.
All of Africa.
All of
5
Africa.
East, West, North, South, Central. That's all it was back in the day.
And that's why they got rid of Gaddafi, because he was trying to link it all up.
Big time.
Link up the currency and have it backed by gold and get everybody together. They had to get rid of him.
Big time.
That's a whole nother topic. But,
Right. So we have a position there. You look it up and you start getting in touch with the representative for the diasporans. Right. And that's how we start to figure out a plan of what can I do if I go over there?
What can I do?
Yeah, it's all these, it goes back to the SBA thing. That's free resources. What could I do with this energy and my entrepreneur spirit and my business acumen? All right, let me look at some things, get some awareness, some education. We got a lot of resources out here. We're doing our part in Ghana.
That's deep, man, because, you know, a lot of people have different skills and talents and abilities, and they're doing things and, you know, stuff like that. But they would never think that they can translate those things into having, you know, money and having an opportunity to go to Ghana and do something and having and receiving funding and monies to go do things like that.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. And I'm talking about Ghana because this is what I know.
Right.
We got Rwanda, you got Gambia, you got Nigeria. You know, you got a lot of different parts of Africa that's bubbling.
I hear a lot about Tanzania.
Yeah, Tanzania. I know
you know,
a few people out there in Tanzania.
Yeah.
Doing it.
I mean, it's a lot of opportunities. Pick a place. You know, we say Ghana because it's very cool, stable. It's got a lot of history that's related to us. It helps us to drop off some of what we've picked up here and have carried with us for so long. You know, thank goodness for the work that you all are doing spiritually that helps with that.
I appreciate that, brother.
You know,
I say,
get back up.
Dubai, gungun. Ibai, baba, Ibai, ye. You know, we pay homage to the ancestors and IFA. You know, for give thanks, man. Just stay humble. So, man, we appreciate you, brother, for coming through.
Man, this has been very educational,
extremely powerful,
extremely educational.
Yeah,
and. Wow, it's opened my mind.
We got to put your information up.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anything you want to, is there anything you want to, last words, any business you want to promote, or any last words for all the listeners?
We have Drums for Life. We have an ongoing drum circle that happens on Saturdays, 12 to 1:30. That happens at Hickory Grove Rec Center. And mostly my children run it, you know, and you get there. We got plenty of drums for everyone, all ages, all skill levels. Right now we're at Hickory Grove. I think for the next couple of weeks after this, we'll be at Albemarle Rec Center through September.
Albemarle Road.
Yeah.
So this is in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Charlotte, North Carolina. The book, JEMBE Revolution. This is more than a djembe or a drum publication. It's definitely our history. You got people like Harry Belafonte in here. Those of us that know Babatunde Olatunji, and we feel like we really know him. You'll learn from the people that was around him that it was he was not a master drummer. He was a singer.
Okay, I heard he wanted to be a doc. He was supposed to be a doctor at first. Olatunji, right?
Yeah, he was an activist, really a political activist.
Yeah.
He was poli-sci.
Okay.
The drummers around him were the drummers. They were from here. So that album, Drums of Passion.
Yeah.
And then more Drums of Passion. Brothers and sisters from here. All right. That djembe drum, the way that we see that drum, it's the way it is because of brothers and sisters here. They invented some of what we see on that drum. I'm going to let you read it to learn more about it. Africa made the drum that way after that.
Right.
There's a lot going on.
Didn't know that.
Right. Yeah.
Didn't know that.
There's a lot going on.
It's $15, y'all. Make this a part of your library, your archive, your history. You can teach it to your children. I want to know if there's a summer program.
Summertime is a time that we normally do a lot of traveling.
Yeah.
We made the commitment to keep the drum circle going through the summer this year. It's the first time.
Because normally
we're out. We stop in June, and we start traveling and making moves and all.
Right.
So we don't have a camp. You know, honestly, all transparency, I've been pivoting and moving out of the business of the drum world. My children have been taking it over.
Let the children run the camp.
Yeah.
Tell children. It's wide open.
It's got to be on their time.
Because I put my son in there.
He's
4. He's about to be 5 at the end of July. I would love him to go.
Beautiful age.
Yeah.
To be on that drum.
Yeah.
Yes, beautiful age.
Man.
We have a therapeutic service called Harmony Health Therapeutic Services. The family runs for mental illness and for your mental health. Family orientated, and each room has a theme. And you definitely will be at home. You know, you see the old bar room and the peacock room. You know,
I see.
So and then we have Ra the God, who is our artist here doing his thing, and he's our lead djembe player.
Okay.
All right. These are all local things you can get involved in, local here in Charlotte, North Carolina.
I see.
Yeah. And come on over to Ghana, the Ocean Breeze.
Yes.
Ocean Breeze.
We
will, what's the information, Bob, if anybody's interested or wants to, inquire about anything that you just mentioned?
If you go to Obey, OBEY Foundation.org, you'll find out about all that we're doing.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, Obey Foundation.
And then you're doing the trip in October, so keep us posted so we can, because we're going to be doing announcements soon on here and doing more promoting and more advertising, stuff like that. So we want to keep people, we want to use this platform as one way to keep people informed on things that are going on, cultural things that are going to benefit us, and continue to spread light, in this world. There's so much darkness in it,
Pay attention. You all that recognize that something is changing within you and around you. Pay attention, like Baba spoke on, with the Toyota changing to Oya, my story with the one. Baba talking about when things started changing for him, he recognized that he was going different direction, that mentors and family had not been.
Yeah.
Pay attention, family.
Yeah.
Sure.
And spirit first. Spirituality first.
Spirituality first, brother. You ended it on it. That's the perfect note, right? I don't know how to explain it, but when we keep our spirituality first, everything else just aligns for us in a better way with less effort. And sometimes I even got to remind myself of that, because we can get caught up, you know what I'm saying? And daily, day-to-day, stuff, money, bills, whatever. Yeah. So, yeah, brother, Ashe.
This
has been another episode. We hope y'all enjoyed it. We hope you learned a lot, were enlightened, were inspired. By our brother Cojo B. We want to thank you again for coming on. Y'all go check that book out. Come stay at the resort. Let's try to take that trip in October.
Let's do it.
Until we meet again, blessings to you and your families and all of our watchers and listeners. Please make sure you continue to like, subscribe, and share the podcast. And this has been another episode of Let's Talk IFA. I am Awo Ifa Jaminire.
I am Awo Ifa Tegunshe.
And you are tuned in to the greatest
podcast on the planet. Let's Talk IFA. Ashe, Odabo.
Odabo, everybody. Ireo.
Ireo.